The King's Dorm is specially brought to you by Devon Kings. It's the one-stop show that will take you on different adventures and open your eyes to different possibilities. In this first season, we will be exploring remakes of popular Nigerian meals. Yeah, I know, you're thinking, what else can be new about food we've been eating since forever? Well, we know you are not tired of that meal. You are just tired of making and eating it the same way. On today's episode, we are representing a meal popular in the western part of Nigeria. There are variations of this meal, but the technique remains the same. That special meal is none other than Adaalu and Garri. Yes, Garri, the type that slaps you the first time you put it in your mouth. Adaalu is a delicious combination of honey beans and sweet corn cooked with palm oil and other spices. Adaalu is one of those meals that some people were introduced to as children, some people a lot later in life, while some others haven't even tried this greatness.
What is my first memory of Adaalu and Garri? So while I was growing up, my mom used to talk a lot about, we ate a lot of beans and Garri. But beans and corn, my mom used to talk about it a lot. She's like, oh, it takes so long to cook because you have to boil the corn for such a long period of time before you add in the beans. And just the thought of cooking something that took longer than cooking beans was not just right for us, because we're like, okay, don't worry, don't bother making it. So even though she said it was really tasty and nice, we never really tried it out. But beans and Garri was like 3 or 4 times a week for most of my childhood. Let me say 2 to 3 times, we were eating beans. It shows in the height.
I mean, I'm someone that always like beans. And it depends on what I eat beans with. When it comes to Garri and beans, man, no darling, I love Garri and beans.
Yeah, growing up, I wasn't really a fan of beans, and now as an adult, I'm still not really a fan of beans, unless it's gbegiri. Gbegiri is bae. Yeah.
Which is best to drink, Ijebu or yellow Garri? Ijebu Garri is just by far the best. I can't argue with that.
Ijebu Garri all the way. If it's not sour, if it's not crisp, as my dad would say, that crispiness, then there's no point. Like literally, Ijebu Garri all the way with some nice cold water, some ice.
Yellow Garri has this like rough feel about it, so that one just is a big no. Everybody knows that Ijebu Garri is the Garri for soaking.
Adaalu is a babe. Like when you're in love with someone. If you fall in love, how do you want to? You want to be with the person every time. If you love something, you want to stick to that thing, right? Adaalu is my babe.
I think, beans and corn, like 2 completely different things, trying to mesh together. One should be on a curb. I don't even know how beans is gotten. Beans is probably in those like little things. So they're 2 completely different things. One has to be boiled extensively to get soft. The other one also extensively boiled. So they're like 2 very different things being thrown together to make a meal. I'll say that's a woman. If there's men are like rice, you get very available, easy to make. Do you understand? Women, they're a bit hard. Yeah, I'll say Adaalu is a woman. Sorry, guys.
Based on the kind of name, Adaalu sounds like a woman's name. But knowing what it is and what it's going to do to your tummy and get you into later, I'd say Adaalu is a man, very stubborn man.
So having not tasted Adaalu before, just hearing the name and having to give it like a period in my life, it sounds more like when I'm in my 60s, older, chilling, in the village, breeze. My grandchildren are running around, Adaalu. I'm chilling, maybe in a rocking chair, years to come, life is good. I'm looking at my houses, I'm looking at my properties, as they say. Yeah, life is good. It's like, when I hear it, it just makes me feel of years to come, comfort, chill, and happiness in a weird kind of way. Yeah, so I would say maybe my more towards the end of my life, sort of. I would give that period if I hear Adaalu.
Today in the King's Dorm, we have with us a special chef who will blow our minds and taste buds with a new recipe of how to make and enjoy Adaalu and Garri. So today we have Chef Miyance.
My name is Miyance Amusa. I'm from Lagos State. I am a graduate of the Department of Mass Communication, UNILAG. I have started cooking professionally since 2014. So yes, I am a chef. I'm a chef by profession. I like to cook for people, and I consider cooking for me a love language as well. Today I'll be making for you Adaalu and Garri coated fish. Now I'm playing with 4 elements which I feel like they can always play with each other as well. I'm playing with Garri, I'm playing with beans, corn and coconut. Adaalu is of Western origin and I don't play with my roots. I like to play with things that I am familiar with. I was thinking, how else can I infuse a protein into this dish and still make it make sense and still reinvent the dish? And that is how I came up with coating my fish with Garri. And you can see that as well as you are eating beans, you can play with Garri on it. As well as you are eating corn. I also infused coconut milk into it. So you are more or less playing with all these ingredients that we normally eat together, like coconut and corn, Garri and beans. Seamless marriage. My style of cooking allows me to elevate ordinary stuff or ordinary meals into extraordinary things. Simply put, I like to add the extra into the ordinary to make it extraordinary. And today, for the Adaalu recipe, I've removed palm oil as well, and I'm replacing with Devon King's vegetable oil. This is simply because I wanted it to taste different. I wanted it to taste in such a way that has never been tasted. This recipe isn't so much about reinventing, but it's about including ingredients to see how much I can tweak it. Imagine you eating Garri and fish at the same time, and you are just having the notes of coconut and beans and corn, and everything is just slapping you left, right and center. Yes, that is what I'm trying to do today. And stay tuned if you want to see how this recipe turns out.
Mom. I want spaghetti.
No. Jollof rice and chicken.
Fried yam and grilled fish.
Different meal requests by different family members? Yes. This can be such an exciting challenge. With Devon King's vegetable oil, there's an easy solution.
Racist!
Devon King's vegetable oil is the best choice for all occasions. With guaranteed quality, Devon King's brings you great taste for all your meals. Devon King's, great taste for every occasion.
So first of all, for me, like, is why do chefs always add grass to like their food, no matter what? This is beans and corn. So first of all, grass, but we move. This is the Oibonization of our African meals.
This looks weird. Okay. All right.
I love this food. Sorry, who made this food?
Them that cook this food know what they are doing.
After tasting this, it tasted kind of strange because it wasn't what it looked like. It looked kind of rough and like hard experience, but it's actually like cool in the mouth. It tastes okay. It's not too harsh on any side. I'm about to finish the plate. It tastes nice. I think I just want to keep eating after this first taste.
The Adaalu is okay, but it's not like something that I'm really a fan of. So, but I can eat this fish. I like the fish.
My experience today in the kitchen today was exhausting. I had to marry some ingredients that I had never tried together before, and it came out fantastic. The cooking process for Adaalu was that I started by boiling my beans, and when it was almost cooked, I added in my coconut milk, some onions, some peppers, the dambunama. Today, I wanted to try something that had never been done before with Adaalu, and that was removing palm oil and substituting it with Devon King's vegetable oil, and it was a hit. I also coated my fish with Garri, Ijebu Garri. Oh my God. Yay! I'm sure that my guests, wherever they eat the food, they are praying for me because it's too sweet. I don't want to talk too much. Try it yourself. Try it at home.
Is this something I can make for my parents or my grandparents? I don't know about my grandparents, but my parents are not going to eat this. It looks very weird, but maybe with some encouragement, my mom will try it and then my dad will go for it, and I think they'll like it.
Yeah, this is best food for grandparents. Parents, grandparents, children, generation, past, ancestors, all of them join together. This is the best food. Adaalu.
Parents or grandparents? I think yes. I don't think I would use the same fish, right? Because they are big on like local fish. This would look very strange. It looked almost like bread at first when I saw it. So I know that would throw them off. But I think the meal in general tastes really great. So I could make it. I don't know that it will come out like this, but if it did, they would like it.
This is something I can make for my parents or grandparents. Whether they will abuse me is another thing. Like, what's this Garri on the fish, you know? But the Adaalu itself, you know, I know like my parents are a fan of coconut, so I think they will really enjoy that. But the breaded fish with Garri, I think they'll just take the piss out of me. Like, what are you trying to do with this one?
Scale of 1 to 10. 9. 9. See, I'm being very realistic. So that one that is remaining there, just add it for yourself. 9. That means it's 10 over 10.
I think I'll give it an 8. A good 8, because I think it's a nice meal. It tastes nice. It looks Oyiborized, which I don't always feel is necessary. So, but yeah, it tastes nice. So I'll give it an 8 over 10.
I think I would give it a 6.5, and that's really good. But I don't even go to 8. So 6.5 is quite good. Okay, let's say 7. I'll give it a 7. Yeah, let's give it a 7.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give this a solid 8.
Harvard Adaalu. Harvard Adaalu. Yeah.
I'll call it Adaalu and sexy grass.
Beans, courage with Garri breaded fish. But beans, courage, because we have coconut and we have corn. That's where the courage comes in. And then the beans. Very, very smart there.
Do try Chef Mionce's recipe at home and tell us what you think via the social media handles on your screen using our hashtag. Till we'll meet again on the next episode, remember, it's not the meal you're tired of. It's eating the same way that has become boring.